Simon & Schuster Audio presents The Silo Effect, The Peril of Expertise and the Promise of Breaking Down Barriers by Gillian Tett. Read by Fiona Hardingham.
Note from the author. This book started during the great financial crisis of 2008, but it is not a book about finance. Far from it. Instead, it asks a basic question. Why do humans working in modern institutions collectively act in ways that sometimes seem stupid? Why do normally clever people fail to see risks and opportunities that are subsequently blindingly obvious? Why, as Daniel Kahnemann, the psychologist, put it, are we sometimes so blind to our own blindness? It was a question I often asked myself in 2007 and 2008. Back then, I was working as a journalist in London, running the markets team of the Financial Times. When the financial crisis erupted, we threw ourselves into trying to understand why the disaster had come about. There were lots of potential reasons. Before 2008, bankers had taken some crazy risks with mortgages and other financial assets, creating a gigantic bubble. Regulators had failed to spot the dangers because they misunderstood how the modern financial system worked. Central bankers and other policymakers had given the wrong economic incentives to financiers. Consumers had been dangerously complacent, running up huge credit card debts and mortgage loans without asking whether they could be repaid. Ratings agencies misread risks, and so on. But as I dug into the story of the great financial crisis as a journalist, and later wrote a book about it, Fool's Gold, I became convinced that there was another reason for the disaster. The modern financial system was surprisingly fragmented in terms of how people organized themselves, interacted with each other, and imagined the world. In theory, pundits often like to say that globalization and the internet are creating a seamless, interlinked world, where markets, economies, and people are connected more closely than ever before. In some senses, integration is underway. But as I dug into the 2008 crisis, I also saw a world where different teams of financial traders at the big bank.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?